more person before we get to hear from the candidates. This woman is, she's currently on the city council. She is also another bundle of energy. She walks in with a great smile. Please put your hands together for Suzanne.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming today. You know, we have a candidate here that is really head and shoulders above the ones that have declared, I think. And so I think you know that as well. So it's very important as a candidate to have that support. And when I say support, I mean the support of residents, people who live here and not necessarily involved in politics. So for that matter, it's because you, her friends, fellow residents, people who have worked with Kathy, you know the type of work that she has done, how she's been successful. And before I go any further, I do want to acknowledge that we have my fellow council member, Rick Jones, is in the back there. So, I'm the one whose term is ending at the end of the year. So this is a seat that I think it's important from my perspective, and I think I speak for what the community needs, is we need to have someone who can continue the work that's being done here. When I started in 2008, we were in the recession. It was the pits, and we had no money, and we were trying to get things done with as little, I mean, there just wasn't anything. So in the last 8 years, we have come to a point where the economy is growing. We have wonderful projects that Kathy, I think, will be talking about in a little bit, the downtown and the Warm Springs project. And so, knowing full well that I will be terming out at the end of the year, I have been thinking about who is it that I think would be a great person to fill that seat. And one of the things that I really, really wanted to see happen is that we have another woman. And otherwise, it's four guys and a gal. And I think that a woman's perspective is very important. So, what I was doing is I was saying, okay, who is it that I think could do a credible job? It's not just to occupy a seat. It's to make important decisions for our city. And I know all of you love this city. You wanted to see it grow and to thrive and be the best city and a place that you're proud of. And so I'm racking my brains thinking, now who would that be? And one night it just came to me, Kimberlin. So I called her up, or emailed her, and I said, hey, can we meet for coffee? So she's thinking we're going to talk about, Centerville or something else, and we did. But at the end, I said, hey, by the way, did you know I'm terming out? Yeah. Well, what do you think? Have you ever thought about running for council? And she was sort of taken aback a little bit, but then she says, well, no, tell me more about it. And so I am going to claim the credit, the credit for asking Kathy to consider it. And so I said, give it some time, because definitely it is a big decision. It's something that's going to be a life changer. So, do it for all the right reasons. And so a week hence, we met again, and she said, yeah, I talked to Malcolm, and he was supportive. And I said, boy, that's half the battle, isn't it? And he's been a great trooper, and guess what? It's only just begun. Yeah. So get ready. So when you look at who is an effective council member, it's someone who, as Brandon said, you don't come into council with a preconceived notion. You have to be able to take in all sides and make a rational decision. And I think what Kathy has shown time and time again is that she is a person who does just that. When the times are tough, you don't turn around and say, hey, you're not going to back away from it. What you do is you say, okay, let's take a look at what it is. Now, when we talk about development, I will tell you that developments that are being approved now are definitely better because council has talked to the developer to make it a better project, encourage them to go out to the neighborhood and talk to them. And so, it is a process. It is not a done deal. It never is. And I think that Kathy has shown that she has that reasonable approach to things. and this is what we need. And I've seen time and time again, I will tell you this one time, she came before council, and she started to speak, and then she goes, oh, now which hat am I wearing? Because as we've heard, you know, whether it's FEF or the Centerville Business Association or, you know, all the other things that she has done, she's been there. And that's what impressed me about Kathy. And she got on my radar, although I had known her, you know, when I first got elected, and we had interactions. So I've seen time and time again that this is a person who is effective, who represents the people of Fremont, who is willing to listen and to be able to make good, sound judgment, and she produces. Okay, it's not just talk. And so, little packages, you know, a lot of talent can come from there. And so, we're about the same height. I have my heels on, but nonetheless, I'm just so delighted to be able to publicly say to everyone that I do endorse Kathy, and what we need is for you. You are her supporters. You need to get out there. You need to spread the word and get people to get on board to find out who she's all about. And so, without further ado, I think we need to hear from the lady of the hour, Ms. Kathy Kimberlin.